Tonight we're going to talk about Gibson's new models that are coming up, as well as a huge shock. Welcome back, Troglodytes, to your daily dose guitar information, the Trogly's Guitar Show. Let's start with the sad news first. Do you guys remember Melody Music Shop? We've talked about them a time or two on the show, the most recent time being in this episode, when a viewer of the show sent me a guitar that they had initially purchased by them and put in Sweetwater's exclusive Sugar Bucker pickups. That was a cool orange flame top custom. And because of that video, they actually reached out to me saying they sold another one and they got leads on 2 other sales and they wanted to express their appreciation for that by sending me a gift card, which ended up being a $50 Visa card. But this line's gonna hit hard soon. At a time when sales were down and thoughts of depression were setting in, you single-handedly brought us hope and turned the ship around. I'm sad to announce, Melody Music Shop closed their doors rather abruptly about 5 days ago. Which kind of stinks, because generally I like these guys. I thought their shop name was cool, Melody Music. And even if you never shop directly at their store, you've seen their listings on Reverb here. They would like to do some custom colors from time to time. And this was also the shop that if you watched a listing, many times they would send you a private offer for like 10 to 20% off. So they created a fantastic name for themselves. And when I was first starting to review brand new guitars, I bought from them a lot. For example, this Les Paul Modern review, that's up to 350k views. It looks like I sourced it from that shop. I even wore their shirt in that episode. But going through my messages, I also did a lot of Fender business with them, like the Tom DeLonge Stratocaster. There was even a time I almost bought this from them, but they were paramount in the Paranormal series. So needless to say, I'm going to miss seeing their listings on Reverb. But they're saying if anybody has a custom order or anything, they're going to be reaching out to you about it. So whether they're transferring you to a different dealer or saying, hey, we're still going to get this, we'll honor it when it comes in, we'll figure that out. But if you're curious why they decided to close, the owner, Wilbur, has said that inventory has been hard to get for brand new guitars because manufacturers are prioritizing their own e-commerce adventures versus the dealers. I think it's just the .com websites. We're picking on Gibson because, hey, that's what I know, but they have a lot of .com exclusives that people might want, like the 335 Custom Color Gold Top. Regular dealers can't have that unless somebody's willing to pay a premium over that price for them to order that in. And at that point, they might as well just buy it from Gibson. But more and more people are also buying direct. I mean, to be honest, once Gibson starts to have actual photos of every single guitar, like even these regular production models, not just the limited edition ones, it's game over for all dealers for the most part, because there is that social thought that, hey, I'm buying it directly from Gibson, it's going to be super set up and perfect. And they even advertise that. And Fender's doing that too, but I would say a little bit more aggressively, because every time I go to Fender's website, they say, hey, sign up, get 10% off right away, just for signing up for texts. Or like right now, I happen to be recording on President's Day, up to 20% off, where again, you can buy direct from the manufacturer at a discount that maybe a dealer will be able to match. I don't know if they'd be able to beat it, but you could always ask. But this, you don't have to ask or do anything. You just click and you're happy. In fact, I'm kind of surprised PRS hasn't even gone to a direct selling model like this. As of today, their website is just built to give you information and direct you to other dealers. But it's not even manufacturers' direct websites, it's also their runoff sites that both Gibson and Fender have, such as the Gibson Demo Shop. While this is great for us buyers who are just looking for a deal and don't mind the demo stamp and a few scratches, it seems a lot of buyers have just stopped caring about first quality in general when these discounts happen, and to new models quickly. Here's a great example that affects me. I just bought the Mary Ford Les Paul to review and document. They're $3,000 brand new, and now there's one sitting in the demo shop on sale for $1979. That's just a little under 35% off retail price. And dealer's cost, I would assume, is somewhere between 50 and 60%, but you gotta remember they have employees, taxes, buildings to pay for. They could not match that price, even if they wanted to, especially once you throw in reverb fees. I've worked some relationships over the years at select dealers to get good deals on guitars so I can review them, but even I can't compete with that. So even me putting it on Reverb for $2,500 thinking, hey, yeah, that's a decent deal. Somebody's going to pick that up. That's a bone. Nah, I mean, sure, mine doesn't have the demo stamp, but the average guy doesn't really care about that. That's why I really do rely on things like the New Guitar Day program to keep producing what I do. But at the end of the day, is squeezing out the traditional dealerships good or bad? I guess I'll leave that up to you guys in the comments section. It's just a changing dynamic between how people used to buy guitars and how they buy them today. Does a physical store need to exist where people can try it out? I think that's where things like the Gibson Garage might become more popular. Maybe the idea of that is manufacturers might just have flagship stores in the biggest cities in the world, and then people have to travel to them if they want to try a guitar out first and then online order. Sadly, it's squeezing out the music shops, but it does seem to be a more effective business model for the company to maximize profits. Because it used to be a manufacturer focuses on making the stuff, then they relied on the dealers to do the marketing of it, as far as getting people to try them in the store and then say, hey, I like that. But nowadays, you got crazy guys on the internet talking about guitars every day that do the advertising for them for free, just because it's fun content and we like to keep up with the stuff. So many people are perfectly comfortable just ordering a guitar blindly offline. So Wilbur, I'm sorry to see your shop go away like that. We had a few good times, and I wish you luck in your next adventures. But now let's talk about happier things. Was Gibson even at NAMM? The answer is yes, but no. So apparently it was a private booth only for media and people who had business with them. The average guy couldn't actually get in. But courtesy of musicplayers.com, Guitar Center, as well as Premier Guitar, we actually have a look at some of the new models that they brought. Because we've already talked about the 1955 colorful NAMM ones a couple of weeks back, how they had some interesting finishes, matching knobs. Sadly, we won't get to review one. However, I might have something better. But in this article, it reads something about a double treble Les Paul standard that they're making 500 of each color. And in Guitar Center's video, you can actually see it here. So they're utilizing what looks like the double classic white 57 classic pickups that they were doing. However, Dinesh here was saying something about a slightly thinner finish than usual. I was thinking maybe gloss top, satin back and sides, but that's not what it looks like in this video. But you get the cherry sunburst and more of a tobacco. But these are very sweet looking. And I like the fact that they're going back to that whole limited edition thing. It's what the Henry J era did very well. Small batch runs of interestingly spec'd guitars, and they publish a number. Whether big or small, just a published number helps people go, okay, I think I might pick that up, rather than leaving it in production and selling as many as they possibly can. But next up, there's a new Warren Haynes signature coming. Premier Guitar does have a short sound sample that Gabriel did over here. I think it's pretty fascinating. It looks like some sort of a metallic red with dual P90 pickups. However, Matt was saying that they're not regular P90s, kind of like a P100, but they redid them to sound more P90-like. But they have a 15 decibel boost built into this new thing. So kind of like a 50 standard, just with a new finish, and now we got a boost and slightly different P90 pickups, but I'm excited for that one. From this photo angle, it just looks like a transparent cherry, but it kind of reminds me of the Slash signature gold top with this little thing down here, except for this time it's not a piezo. According to Matt over here, these are coming out in mid-March. And those platypus Firebirds that we talked about a couple of months ago that leaked early, they're coming very soon apparently. Basically just a different headstock style on the Firebird, but you can check out that old episode to learn more, and I'm sure, hopefully we'll review it. There were a few people talking about it. And then it looks like they've got some new acoustics, like this 1936 Advanced Jumbo, which looks like it might just be a part of a whole new series of the Murphy Lab Heavy Aged Acoustic Collection. I think it was, about a year ago when we first saw them say, hey, we're going to try aging acoustics now. So we've got your 63 style country western, as well as the J45 and the Hummingbird. But here's your new Advanced Jumbo. I mean, that almost just looks straight like a vintage guitar. It's got some pretty cool inlays, and then the headstock is just the fretboard inlays, but tilted. I would be interested in trying an aged acoustic because there's a little bit more to that versus an electric guitar because the way tone woods work with acoustics. There might be more to this than just cosmetics. But they also introduced an SJ100. It's $9,000. That looks like a vintage time period piece. Wow. So SJ200 style body, but it looks like they modified some of the cosmetics. But, you know, in a strange roundabout way, those dot inlays don't look half bad when you mix it with such a unique peg head. I don't think I've ever seen that before. It reminds me of a couple of different bells just stacked on top of it, or maybe a fountain. Man, wouldn't that be fun to see this headstock on a Les Paul? You'd have to give it the old 34 burst finish or something. But that's what I'd like to see Gibson doing. The three-piece necks always look pretty nice on that. And whoa, got a built-in hook on it. That's cool. But it looks like they've got a new signature Margot Price J45 coming. From far away, at first glance, I thought this was a rooster. Like this is his crown and his beak and then his tail sticking up. But no, when you get closer in there, they look like eagles, like from the Excelente of the Epiphone lineup, but this time within Gibson's territory. The double pickguard's always pretty sweet, especially when you have some additional colorations there. But alright, troglodytes, I hope you enjoyed and learned something new, and we'll catch you guys tomorrow on the next one. Take care.